Nora is with Special Products and Manufacturing. They have 3 facilities in Texas. You are the Fabricator of the Year.
When customers come in, the first thing they say is, wow, when they walk into the plant floor. Everybody has good communication, understanding of what's going on. So they're impressed by that. And then when they come out, there isn't an employee that won't wave at them. And then the customers start engaging with the operators. And to me, that's who sells.
That's some secret sauce right there, right?
That's the secret sauce, yep.
Welcome to the Ed Talks podcast. I'm your host, Ed Youdell, President and CEO of the Fabricators and Manufacturers Association, where we believe the key to unlocking our industry's full potential is through attracting, developing, and engaging the manufacturing workforce. Join me as I speak with business leaders about their unique approaches to workforce development and shaping the future of the industry.
This episode of Ed Talks is brought to you by Amada America, a leading provider of innovative metal fabricating solutions. Specializing in laser cutting, press brakes, and automated systems, Amada America delivers cutting-edge technology for industries across North America. With a robust network of technical centers and expert support teams, Amada ensures efficient, high-quality solutions tailored to your needs. Visit amada.com/America to discover more.
We are delighted to be joined today by Nora Harding from Special Products and Manufacturing.
Hi, Ed.
Nice to have you with us. This is the second edition of Ed Talks. We're delighted to be sponsored by Amada America today.
Good.
So great to have them on board and their support for Ed Talks today. Special Products and Manufacturing, they have 3 facilities in Texas.
That's
They're
right.
Part of the Fab 40 of job shops and contract manufacturers serving the metal fabrication industry. 60-year-old company, facilities in Rockwall, Fate, and Round Rock, Texas. And most importantly, I have a prop.
Yes.
Congratulations to
We are
your
so
company.
excited.
You are the Fabricator of the Year. You were featured in the February issue of the Fabricator magazine, as well as here at the annual meeting. You were honored at a dinner on Tuesday night, which was fantastic, and the story of the company was spectacular. The owners, Ed and Rob Graham-Leonard, I met them back in 2010, and you had just launched Vision 2020. And I think those tweaks I gave them really made the difference. So it was a good thing I showed up when I did.
Absolutely.
But, you're the second non-family member to be part of the executive team. You're executive vice president.
Yes.
Tell us about how you came to join SPM, your journey into manufacturing. Love to know more about you and how you came to be here.
So I was at McKesson Water Products Company for many years. So they were also a manufacturing company as well. But I was in the human resources department. And so that was in California. And my husband and I relocated to Rockwall, Texas. And when we did, I still worked for McKesson for a period of time. And I thought, I just don't want to make the trek all the way to Dallas. So there was a manufacturing company in Rockwall, Texas. And I applied with Ed Graham-Leonard, and took about 2 years. And they went ahead and hired me as their human resources manager. So I started as their HR manager. And what attracted me to SPM was 2 dynamic leaders that wanted to make change. And they wanted to take a culture to another level and move it from a command and control to an environment where people could thrive. And I couldn't pass that job up.
Fantastic. So were you in HR at McKesson?
Yes.
Or was this a new role for you?
No, I was always, my whole career I've been in advertising, but now I was in human resources. And then now I asked Ed one time, how did you know that you were going to move me to this role? He said, I knew all along I was going to move you to this role. So I had no idea. I thought I would take the role for a short period of time until they found somebody else to take that role. And I'm still here 5 years later.
Okay. So, 5-year overnight sensation.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Short straw.
So trying to do my research on the organization, looking under the culture tab,
Yes.
Really attracted to this idea of you've really outlined some basic principles for the
Yes.
organization that guides it. BUILT, so best people, urgency, integrity, learning, and teamwork. Tell me about those principles, how they were developed, and how they're used every day in the running and in performance of SPM.
So we started with BILT, B-I-L-T, and B was balance and not best people. So I have to go backwards to go forwards, because every year we looked at that and said, how do we really get the essence of the culture that we're trying to develop? And so over time that moved to BILT, B-U-I-L-T, with best people. And it's how we hire, it's how we promote, it's how we drive the organizational culture. All of the words, if you go to our company, it's plastered all over the wall. It's on all of our communications boards. We do a lot of visual management with that, and we teach the employees, this is what it is to be a member of SPM. This is our integrity. This is our learning. This is our promise to you. And then this is our promise to each other. And then that just drives a very happy understanding of expectations for your role in the organization. And if employees are not adhering to that, then there are issues that come up as a result.
From where you were 5 years ago to where you are today, what's the biggest shift in the culture you've seen by adhering to these principles?
The biggest is the care of the employees. And, we if they see something that's not right, they speak up. If you come into our plant, people will talk. We have visitors, customers, suppliers come into our plant, and every single one of them say, wow, your employees are very engaged. Your employees, wave at you. Your employees talk to you. Your employees, we walk up to the employees and start talking, and they're very vocal, and they'll tell you while a customer's standing there, Nora, we could do this one better. We could do that better. So I think it makes people feel ownership in an organization where typically you just do your job and go home.
Yeah, fantastic. We're trying to get your head and your heart engaged in the work, not just your physical presence.
Correct.
And ability to push a button or move product from here to there.
Technical skill can be developed, but care has to come from within.
Yeah, wonderful. And care is obviously evident in your community involvement, right? Special Wish, Built to Serve, continuous improvement. Those really show how the organization cares about its community and the people who work there. I'm interested to know how those initiatives help you attract talent to your organization.
So Built to Serve is the name of the group, the community group that works together to go out to the community and help with, helping hands, food drives, elderly shut-ins. I mean, we do everything that we can possibly do from Built to Serve. And so how does it help? It gets our name out in the community. We're so involved in, Rockwall itself, but it's Rockwall, it's Garland, it's Rowlett, it's 20 to, so miles out, that we stay so involved that people want to know who we are. Who is this company that came in here and does this? So we do an external outreach, and then we have an internal outreach. And so Special Wish is our internal outreach. And that is
so exactly what is Special Wish?
It's for our employees. It is employee run, and it is employee paid for. So the company doesn't pay for anything. And employees can either put in their Special Wish desire, or others can put that in for them. And we do have a committee that selects, and we give our employees a heart's desire 4 times out of the year.
So give me an example. One you've done.
One man wanted to go fly fishing in Alaska. He had never been, and he was in his late part of the career, and he was like, "Hey, can somebody? I just always wanted to do that." And so we sent him to Alaska. And then there's the heartfelt ones where they're a single mom, and their children have never been to Disneyland and never been anywhere that's outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And her mother passes away, and she barely has enough money to take care of her mom's funeral, nothing. And so we paid for her mom's funeral and then sent the family to Disneyland so they could do something nice And that was a very tearjerker. That was a tough one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a fantastic story. And I get a sense of the culture and the people. And, and I've known Rob and Ed for many years.
Yes.
But not that far inside the company is just so fantastic. I can't really think of any. And I'm sure there's stories like that in our industry, and that's what makes our industry so great, right?
Yeah.
Continuously meeting people and owners who are successful people, but they're trying to bring everybody along
with them rather than take it home by themselves, right? And so we have also, I wanted to talk about the continuous improvement program. Talk about engagement. That's also an internal outreach. It helps the organization get better. But it's employees that at all levels of the organization have an idea. They submit the idea through our ERP system. It goes through a series of approvals, and then we implement the idea. And it's as simple as, one of them was a garage door opener. And we'd have to stop, get off the forklift, go over there, open the garage door, close the garage door. Close the bay door. And he was like, why don't I just get a garage door opener? It's stupid, crazy things like that. Two is how to eliminate a number of bins and do better tooling and things like that. So we reward and recognize employees for their ideas, and that's very empowering.
Yeah, fantastic. I know you're involved in the community with local school districts. What are some of those engagements look like that you're using those to help you attract, number one, young people to get interested in manufacturing, which we all need to do more and more every day. Talk to us about how you're engaged with your local school districts.
Yeah, so our local school district, Rockwall, has a technical center that we basically support. We help with the kids to get scholarships. We go and spend our time teaching how to do resume writing. So it's a technical school for some of the kids that don't really want to go off to college. They just want to go into a technical workforce. And so we go in there and we spend our time. We do lean practices with them. We partner with the RISD. And one of the things I thought was really cool is there's a three-way partnership between Rockwall Economic Development Center into our Gene Burton School of Academy, which is RISD, and us. And we sent kids who could not afford to go to welding school, go get a welding degree in Collin County. So they went and got their welding degree, and maybe we won't see them come to SPM, but we feel like we're contributing to the industry by educating and helping others through a grant.
In our first episode, Sarah Richards said the world will always need one more welder.
That's
so
right.
It's whether we get them or not.
That's right.
So
it's true.
It's great to hear the same things going on in Texas.
Yes.
So it's really, really admirable. The other really big event that looks like it's near and dear to my heart, I loved seeing it on your website, I have to tell you, is Manufacturing Day. So talk to us about your Manufacturing Day experience.
It's near and dear to my heart too. I think it was such a great concept that you developed because it really opens up manufacturing. First, I think the first time we did it, we had maybe 50 students come in. Now we have well over 200 that come in. It was a half a day, now it's 2 days. And we make a big deal about it. We not only entertain students from all over the DFW area, we also entertain their families. So we're really encouraging the parents. We send home a pamphlet of information, why manufacturing? Because when kids ask their parents, what should I be when I grow up? It's typically a doctor and a lawyer and make a whole lot of money, but you can do that in manufacturing. You can have a great career in manufacturing. So we try and coach and train the parents so that when the kids are coming home from this great day, here's the pamphlet with that information. And feel free to come to our evening from 4 to 6 and walk through our facility and get to know what it's like to work in a manufacturing environment. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
Maybe you could share an experience of a parent who came back and how you changed their perception about what modern manufacturing is. I
do have that. In fact, from the Manufacturing Day, we would get our interns. So we've probably hired about 30 interns through this process over the 5-6 year period of time we've been doing it. And through one of the interns, he wanted to be so bad the best press brake operator there ever was. And so his mother was like, that's not what I thought he was going to do when he grew up. I thought he was going to follow the family tradition of marketing. And she said, he just wants to be a great press brake operator. So we had our new ATC that came in from Amada. Have to plug Amada because we are an Amada shop mostly. And they came in and he ran the ATC. He ran that ATC so proudly, just every day. He'd wipe that machine down before he left. And his mother came up to me later on and she said, thank you for not only giving my son the opportunity to make money and have a career, but you gave him a career that he really enjoys. He's still there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Now he's running a more complex machine.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great story. Attracting talent, difficult, challenging, got to be on it every day. Once you get the team and get the people in, talk to me about how you're continuing to develop the talent and, improve productivity.
So we bring them in through an onboarding program. No different than you bring in an onboarding program with a customer. We treat it very much the same way. So they have a 5-day, program, come in, understand what's going on with the organization. Each of them get a training plan so they know what they need to be doing for 30, 60, 90 days. And then they have a shadow, a person that's on the floor that helps them integrate into the organization. So that shadow is someone that we train and coach and speak to and make sure that they're up on the latest and greatest of what's going on so that they can coach and train the new employees. So when the employees are fully engaged after 90 days, then it's not like they get let go, but they're kind of free to fly a little bit. And then that's when opportunities come about. So we have two things that come to mind for me. A Breakdown Barriers group. It's a group of high potentials that I do the coaching with. It's about 9 people. And every other week, I sit down with the high potentials and we go through everything I would do with a manager, but at a level where they can completely understand it and integrate it into their day-to-day work. So we might not discuss revenue in the sense that we're talking to the management and leadership team, but we discuss revenue in terms of how it impacts, gain sharing, because we have a gain sharing program or reward and recognition programs, things like that. And we also talk about it in terms of customer growth and what does customer growth do for us. So that Breakdown Barriers meeting is a great high potential. We spend 1 year with the group and then the group turns over to the next group. So we try to spend a lot of time coaching within their individual coaching opportunities and development, and then take it to another, how do we develop the next generation of leaders?
Fantastic. So, that's the new people. Somebody who's there 5 years or maybe 10 years, what kind of development approach do you have for those people?
Besides, I think I'm a great example of it. Yeah, exactly. We do, in fact, we do like what you're doing now with your new philosophy and your new way of doing things. It's very engaging. And so I would say I'm a good example of promotional opportunities. I started as an HR manager and moved to an EVP position. My business development manager started on the floor as he built oil and gas cabinets and moved into quality and moved into engineering and moved into project management, and now he's a salesperson. There are so many opportunities like that. So we have an internal process by which they can go into human resources, tell them what they're trying to do from a career perspective, and get promotional opportunities. But not all of them are promotional opportunities. Some people just want to learn, right? So you want to learn, if you're a brake operator, you want to learn how to first be a great brake operator, then be a great setup person, and then be a great automation person. So we've got opportunities for them to kind of go from press brake 1 to press brake 4. And how do you go through that process? And all of that is tracked through our ERP system. And then some people might want to be a great brake operator, but also want to be a powder coater. And so you have to be nimble now with your workforce.
Right.
So we have to train them not only to be a brake operator, but potentially a backup resource to our powder coat line. And so we do a lot of cross-training.
So how big is your workforce?
Right now we have 200 people across all 3 locations. So it's pretty lean. It's pretty lean, and that's purposeful. It gives everybody an opportunity to, first it lowers the cost of the organization, which that does help our customer pricing. But on the other side of it, it also gives everybody an opportunity to learn multiple things.
Right.
And in a job shop, what I found was not every department is busy all the time. And so if you can move your resources to where the bottleneck is, you can move things through a lot faster, keeping the flow a steady flow.
Right.
And so you do that through the current, group of employees rather than hiring and having some waiting around being bored for the, hey, when is this work going to come to me? Now it's like we just move the people where the work is.
So you've been here at the annual meeting.
Mm-hmm.
What sessions have you participated in to help you on your development track?
Yeah.
As an executive,
Yes.
This event is really about peer-to-peer and
Yes.
leadership
Yes.
training.
The AI, excellent. That was very good. It was very helpful to understand where and we are using it. It's all of us are using it in some sort of format, but just the fact to create a policy on AI was something I did not really completely think about. And when he mentioned a policy, I was like, wow, that's a good idea, because right now we're just using it. And we're implementing programs and we're implementing software that have that. And so, wow, that's a good way to lose your IP. So
Right.
You have to think about ways in which you do a policy. So that was great. And then the speaker on communication, she was amazing.
She was fantastic.
Oh my gosh, just a ball of fire. I really enjoyed how she talked about the importance of communication.
For our audience perspective, and I'm
Yes.
sure we'll throw her face up here, Evie Pompuris,
Yes.
Former Secret Service agent and polygraph expert,
Yes.
Who took us through some training on communication and
Yes.
skills and development. She really was impactful.
She was, and in the learnings with how to work with customers, and you can apply that. People think you work with customers one way and you work with employees another and you work with suppliers another. I've just never had that theory. The theory is everybody wants to be onboarded well, everybody wants to be communicated well, and her discussion, her meeting, her speech was just interactive and,
Right.
and very enlightening.
Yeah.
Something I will take back to our organization and to our leadership team.
That's great to hear that. With our industry, my personal belief is that the people who work in our industry have an expectation that they're going to work with technology. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about how SPM's technology plan or strategy helps you keep your employees engaged, and how it helps you attract customers as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'll talk about it from an employee perspective. Rob and Ed were always it was always very important to have automation in the organization. And they taught that and preached that and put the money to it too, because it's very costly to do the things that they were doing. The only request they had was use it. I don't want to put it in and have a beautiful Amada machine on the floor and it doesn't get used. So that was a task for the team that we assembled. And so we assembled a machine team. So everybody gets an opportunity to kind of onboard a machine to the organization. And how do we quickly onboard that machine? It used to take us 6 months to onboard a machine. And now it takes us 6 weeks to get work and up and ready to go. And the tooling is there and it's prepared. And the employees are well trained and they're prepared. It's very invigorating to the organization to put in a cool new machine, and the employees, you just watch them. We do little small tours with them. Hey, go check out the new press brake. Go check out the new welding, OTCs. Go check out all the different kinds of things that we've got going on. We had GEMA guns installed, and so that was kind of a fun thing for employees to look at. So we do try to stay very automated, and I think it keeps us moving. It keeps us up to date. When customers come in, the first thing they say is, wow, when they walk into the plant floor. I take a customer around, 3 or 4 times a week, and I get the same thing. Wow, there's a lot of automation here. Wow, and it's not just sitting, it's being used. And that's the kind of thing. They like that.
Sure.
Why? Because it drives down costs. So we have one operator running 2 machines, and they're like, wow, you have one operator running 2 machines, and I'm sure it clicks to them. Oh, okay, maybe their prices will be a little bit better.
Right. And I would imagine your close rate is much higher once you get somebody inside the facilities.
It really is. I don't know how to explain that, but it is. It creates a comfort with our quality. Oh, wow, they're so automated. They've got great quality equipment in their quality department, very engaged employees. So my goal is always try to get them to our facility because I think our facility speaks for itself. And then the sales part of it is just facilitating a tour.
Right. Along the tour, how much do the prospective customers might maybe get to engage with the employees?
All throughout the tour.
Okay.
So, I mean, we start in the punch department. Well, we start in the support side of the business. And so we walk through and let them see all of our art on the floor, on the walls with our vision and our mission and our SPM vibe, the promises that we make to our employees, and then, of course, our values. And then we head out to the floor. And then they get to see a whole level of visual management. And the visual management that's on the floor is also inside the support team. So everybody has good communication, understanding of what's going on. So they're impressed by that. And then when they come out, there isn't an employee that won't wave at them or stop and ask them. And when I ask the employee, hey, can you show them a tool change? And they're in the middle of their productivity, they're like, okay, now, Nora, I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull away. I'm like, yes, it's okay. So they stop, pull away, and then the customers start engaging with the operators. And to me, that's who sells.
That's some secret sauce right there, right?
That's the secret sauce, yep. And they're talking to him. And when a customer sees a very engaged and involved employee, and even one that turns to me and says, Nora, remember I told you this the last time, it's still doing it. Oh, okay, I'm being held accountable with a customer right there, and that's impressive, I think.
Oh, fantastic. Mm-hmm. The year ahead, lots of change, lots of political issues, yes. Regime change. Any of those things on your mind?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I mean,
what kind of things?
Well, like Ed Granlenard said in his panel, it's not really that big of an impact to us because we manage that with our customers through communication. We have a touch quarterly communication with our customers in terms of pricing. So they know what the pricing is every single quarter. And so that does get looked at as tariffs come in, material pricing going up. And so we account for all of that. And we tell them up front, this is how we do it. Or we would be re-quoting every single time they come in. And that's cumbersome for them.
Right.
So to keep them in a quarterly, pricing agreement, that helps drive their trust in us. And, sometimes it's in the benefit of the customer and sometimes it's in the benefit of SPM. But most of the time it's in the benefit of both. So I think it does.
That's the objective.
Yes.
Of the place to be, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I am worried about, labor market and things like that. But as the labor market gets a little lighter and the jobs aren't as plentiful, I'm seeing a little easier, way to get employees. And we're doing that through the colleges and RISD, our local, local school districts. And really even Rockwall Economic Development Center also helps us too.
Right.
I should say also our own employees.
Okay.
We get a lot of referrals.
That's the best kind,
yeah,
right?
It is.
I know you a little bit. You seem very optimistic,
yes.
as high energy, delightful is kind of how I would classify your personality. You're very optimistic. What are you most optimistic about, say, over the next year, 5 years, and even looking out 10 years for the metal fabrication industry?
Oh, I think the metal fabrication industry is fun. It is exciting. I think that the automation is going to make it even better. I think the employees, the type of employees that we're going to be employing are people who are more technical employees. Yes, you're going to have your brake operator that's been there and done brake for 30 years and he's or she is so good. And then you're going to have technical experts. And so you're going to have kind of a mesh. And I think that's really exciting, is to have kind of a mesh. And how will the industry work with that kind of mesh? How will your FMA support that type of mesh of the old press brake person and the new automation? So I'm excited about that. And I would also say I'm excited about just the engagement of employees in this industry, and we need to work together. That's the thing. I think sometimes we all kind of segment each other and don't really cross, hey, what are you experiencing? No real ability to do that until you get to this conference. And when you get to this conference, you can spend so much time and understanding they have the same problems you do.
Exactly.
And you're not alone. And what did they do to solve it? And so I think that's a huge thing that FMA brings once a year for our members.
Yeah, fantastic. Any final thoughts? Any last words of wisdom? I'll give you the last word here today. Anything you want to leave us with?
I would say that, SPM has worked very hard for many years to try and figure out ways to reinvent themselves to be the best metal fabricator ever. And, to be recognized by you guys as from the Fabricator and have someone come in and meet with the employees and talk has just invigorated our organization. So I would say that thank you for doing these types of things, these recognition and reward systems that make people in our company feel very excited to be in manufacturing and work for a company like SPM. So I appreciate the time you have with me today. I enjoyed it, and
Great.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So this concludes today's episode of Ed Talks. A couple of things. She referenced the Fabricator of the Year. Most important thing you can do if you're watching this as a fabricator is apply for it. Mm-hmm. You too could be the next Fabricator of the Year on the cover of the February issue of the magazine. So we hope to have you engage with us. Please join us here at the annual meeting. Great way to meet peers like
Yes.
Nora. Come here, meet her, talk to her. As she said, many of the problems you may be facing, she's already faced. She may have already solved them. She can get you there faster. Likewise, you might be able to share something with her
Absolutely.
to help her do the same. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Ed.
Again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you down the road.
We'll be here next year.
And back to Amada America, thank you for your support and sponsorship of Ed Talks.
This podcast is a production of Fabricators and Manufacturers Association and part of the FMA Podcast Network. The show is hosted by FMA President and CEO Ed Youdell. The podcast is produced and edited by Gareth Slager and Griffin Hammond. Additional production support by Andy Flando, Amy Hudson, Dana Weicker, Mike Owens, Billy Culpa, Elizabeth Gavin, and me, Sarah Spring. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for listening.